Hey guys, Luna here and welcome back to our life. We just finished the dinner scene, but let's just continue on. I do actually want to go with, even though road trip is next, I do want to go with summer work. You stared out the window watching the scenery pass by as your mom drove down the quiet street at a leisurely pace. A singer crooned sweetly from the radio, turned low enough that you could block it off if you wanted. You turned away from the window when your mom suddenly spoke up. Well, kids, are you excited to be going to the library? Yeah, I can't wait to get there. Mom laughed, catching your eye in the rearview mirror and winking. I don't know why I asked. I already know how you feel about it. Yeah, that's always good. Taking a trip down to the library had always been something you enjoyed. So, what about you, Cove? You're part of the conversation, too.
Yeah.
I like the library, and I work better there than at home.
Sounds good.
Well, I'm happy this will be of use to you. Just be sure you're not distracted by one another. That would defeat the purpose of the trip. I can imagine, but I'm sure it'll be fine. She grinned over at you briefly. She knew she was kidding and meant nothing by it. Mom refocused back on driving and humming along with the radio under her breath. He went back to staring outside. As you passed one tree, you caught the glimpse of someone in brightly colored clothing passing up balloon animals. It sparked a faraway memory, and you felt your lips twitching up before you consciously remembering why. How long ago was it that you and Cove watched the amazing Alexander performing magic tricks? Cove, look at that guy out the window. Cove turned his head just a second too late. Ooh, doesn't matter. Do you remember the amazing Alexander? Who? He gave us dolphin balloons. Yours popped. You cried. It was a big day.
Oh,
right. That was a while ago. It was so fun. Cove smiled faintly. It was the first time we ever went down to the street together, I think. I missed my balloon. He was a good dolphin for that one afternoon I had him. Yeah. Hey, Cove. What were you gonna name your balloon? You never told me. I don't know. Can't remember what kid me was thinking. Probably something obvious like Flipper. You couldn't help the way your own smile curled up high at the sentiment. You wanted to say something else, but you couldn't quite think of what, and so you just settled back in your seats. When the silence filled the car again, you returned your attention to the window. It was an absolutely gorgeous day. You leaned your face to the sunshine, tempted to close your eyes at the gentle rays that warmed your cheeks. Luna? Huh? You lifted yourself up at more, seeing your mom twisting her torso to face you, confused from the front seat of the car. Next to you was nothing. Cove's car door was already open. You had reached the destination before you even realized it. I was asking, what time should I pick you two up? 4 should be okay. That should give you at least enough time to finish your summer assignments, or at least make a large enough dent. Thanks, Mom. You hopped out of the car, remembering to grab your backpack at the last second.
Alright
then. Have fun, you two. We will. You closed the door, giving a little wave. She waved back. The two of you went to the door of the library. Cove reached it first and tugged it open, stepping inside. He kept it propped open so you could pass through behind him. The air was much cooler inside the building than it had been for the first few seconds you spent outdoors. The space was filled with the soft din of papers being moved and whispered voices. Hey, you seem kind of distracted on the right here. Just enjoying the day. Cove looked dubious at the vague answer. Okay. What, you don't think it's nice out?
I don't know.
It's pretty much always nice out here. Your study buddy was standing at the front of the library by the long rack of magazines. Predictably, he was flipping through one of the various sports players on the cover, looking tense enough to burst off the page. His head snapped up when he walked over, beaming widely. Hey, Luna, Cove. Hi, were you waiting a while? Not super long. Derek put the magazine back in its place. Then he gestured to the space at his side. Most of the tables were empty, only a few people leafing through books. There's plenty of room. In unspoken agreement, the two of you started moving toward the seating area, Derek taking 2 steps for every one of Cove's. Oh, guess what? I'm pretty sure I mastered the fake shots. I'll show you some other time. Derek looked over to gauge the level of interest. Do you know it? Shaq's not really for me. How's it go? Derek's eyes flashed with excitement as he explained.
Okay.
Well, you move the ball like you're going one way then. You demonstrate by running a few steps ahead, then showing off some fancy footwork. You do it like this, so it does it like that. You laughed, bobbing your head at an attempt to get the trick across with no ball. You had to be something pretty cool to see what he could do for real back when you had helped him babysit. Shh. The three of you looked over to the checkout desk. The librarian stood up behind it and was wearing a deep frown. You were apologetic. You mouthed sorry and she sighed before turning back to the book she was reading. Derek scratched his cheek, choosing not to let the derail things.
Oops.
So, what were you guys working on? There are some things you had gotten to start with, but it was really early in the summer, so there was a lot left. I got some math problems that need work. The atmosphere is good for studying and felt motivated to tackle them. There's some summer reading too. I have to go through an assigned book, but I'm sure I'll do that later since it doesn't need extra references or anything. I've already finished reading. Oh? It's not that long, and it was more interesting than last year's books. Good to know. It's definitely good to know, because assigned reading over the summer can either be really, really good or really, really terrible. What about you two? Get a few worksheets. They look pretty easy, but my school just gave us 3 books to read. Can't they just stick with one? I'm doing a timeline for history. You found a table close to the tall bookshelves instead of camp. Within seconds, pencils and folders and books are strewn out on the surface. Focus on your work. You're pretty confident you could get done before your mom was set to return. You checked the requirements on your homework sheet your teacher had given you, then opened your textbooks to the pages you needed. After some time, Cove shifted in his sheet, twisting his back as if trying to work some knots out of it. Let me guess, your soul is crying out for the sea. The corner of Cove's mouth twitched into a smile. I'll have to settle for walking around the library for a few minutes. Okay, I'm gonna stay here, making good progress. Sure, I'll come with you. Might as well take the opportunity to refresh yourself before getting back to work. The two of you strode away where you'd been working. Your eyes roamed over the titles of books as you passed by. Some were dull, some were intriguing, others were just strange, but you didn't spot anything that made you pause and pick it up. Looking for something? No, but something might catch my eye. You never know. Might go out of here if there's enough time. This comment reminds you of the clock ticking away. Even after you finish your work for the summer, the countdown to the New Year's would still be on track. Before you know it, we'll be back to class. Yeah, we just got on and it's almost here again. Are you looking forward to going back? Cove gave you a worried smile. No, I still never want summer to end. He wishfully let out his gaze to go distance. He wrapped his arm around himself. He wasn't sure if his longing was for the beach or for the concept of summer itself. Summer means he can do what he wants. I like learning stuff, but the way school does it. I want to grow up already. Cove didn't feel safe knowing it was others who was determined what his life was like. He understood that much. Sorry, I'm still dealing with a little bit of allergies, so you have to pardon my occasional cough or me sipping water. Because I'm recording a lot of these episodes back to back. New classes, new teachers, new people, it's too much. He raked a hand through his hair before brightening up. But if you get to be in the same classes, that'll be cool. That'd be great. A smile spread across his face, crinkling his eyes.
So...
What about you? Do you want to go back to school already? I like summer, but I'm ready to go back to school when I got to. It's interesting. There's more going on then. There was really no way of getting out to the topic of school right now. It prompted you to think back to the classes you were in. You pursed your lips. You wanted to enroll in art class. It wasn't mandatory at your school, but you definitely hoped to participate. Science class often fascinated you. You hoped there'd be more cool experiments this coming semester. And math class kept your attention. You like figuring out solutions to problems, especially if they're a bit hard at first. English class usually was enjoyable depending on the topics. You liked the books you had to read in English class. The writing assignments were engaging too, depending on the writing assignments. Honestly, as much as history is interesting, I wasn't really looking forward to history, and that was all. Each lost in your own thoughts, you continued to stroll through the library for a little while longer until Cove got your attention again. You should probably head back. Yeah, we don't want him sending a search party. Before you could take a step back, Cove cleared his throat, avoiding your gaze. Thanks for listening before. Anytime. Cove smiled, his cheeks pink. You jerk your head toward where Derek had been left studying. Time to get back to work. Cove and you rejoined with Derek and settled back in as quietly as you could manage. Work continued as normal from there. The sound of shuffling dragged out of your head. You looked up surprised to see Derek packing up. You done? Derek casually shrugged, but you could tell he felt proud to be the first finished. Huh? Told you it wasn't anything too hard. What are you going to do now? You wondered how Derek was going to spend his newfound freedom.
Maybe.
I could look over what you're doing. Maybe I got some tips that'll help. That'd be great, thanks.
I gotcha.
With a smile, Derek leaned over your part of the table. He took some time to get the gist and point out the right direction before turning back over to you. Derek leaned on the back of his feet. Okay, I'm gonna look around while you guys finish. See you. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Later on, Cove shifted in his seat, closing his book as he looked over the notes he'd been taking. Glancing away, you contemplated what you had done thus far, too. You had finished everything. Just as you thought it hadn't been that difficult, you wrapped it up already. Derek's advice made it easy in the end. Are you about ready? It's almost 4. Yeah, I think so. Come on. The both of you gathered up your books, and after returning the ones you used for reference to the proper shelves, you set off to wherever Derek had been wandered off to. He was in the biography section. His back was to the two of you, one hand above his head and the other supporting himself against the shelf as he strained to grab one of the books. Hey Derek, we're ready.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Glanced toward the sound of your voice and up toward the shelf he was trying to reach. I can get that for you. Yeah, thanks, Una. Derek directed you toward the book you wanted. It was an autobiography of someone you'd never heard of before. And then the three of you moved on to the front of the library to wait for your rides. You stood close to the window and let out a content sigh, feeling the rays warm you from the slightly chilly library interior. Got any plans after this? Gotta work on my technique. Can't get rusty while school's out. The answer was inevitable. Technique for what? Soccer. How about you two? You considered the question, mostly in case your mom said something penciled in for the evening that you forgot. Nothing planned. Me either. Oh, that's my dad's car. Derek lifted up a hand to wave, pushing the door open and heading toward the blue pickup truck waiting for the parking lot.
Talk to you later.
See you, Luna. Bye, Cove. You watched Derek jog off before scanning the area for your mom. Did you get everything done? Yeah, I only got some thicker paper to draw the final draft on. I saw you're done. You smiled, impressed. You felt pretty good about that. I feel like I need to come back to the library again before summer's over. Even if your assignment work was done, you might have to double check some things or do preparations for the start of the year. I'll come with you. I still have some stuff I can do. You better. I'm not going alone. You chuckled. Let's do something when you get back. Maybe the beach? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It was always easy to please that way. The two of you smiled at each other. It wasn't long before you spied your mom's car coming down the road. There she is.
All right.
Time to go, then. Climbed into the car, slanging to usual seats and buckling into the belts. Hey, kiddos, did you get a lot done? I'm done.
Nice.
Amazing. The car shifted into action, and you watched as the library shrunk into the distance. It wouldn't be the last time you saw it this summer. Even better, we're going to have good company with you. You're already counting down the days. You chatted easily with Mom about the day while you juggled a conversation with Cove. When she learned you two were planning on returning, she immediately offered to give you a ride next time. You continued to answer Mom's questions about what you're working on, then you told her about your plans to stick with Cove after getting back. But soon enough, the trip was over. You arrived back to your neighborhood. Cove had run over to his house real quick to drop off some of his stuff. You also made a pit stop to put your backpack away before heading out again. The two of you regrouped in the middle of the road, halfway between your houses. With everything wrapped up, you could now freely enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Conversation resumed as if you began walking down the street together. The afternoon came and went, dinner was eaten, and you were cleaning up the dishes left behind from it. Cove had elected to stay for the meal today. He passed you a couple plates to munch in the sink, even though you didn't have to. Cove asked to do at least something to help. You scrubbed the last of them and let out a satisfied sigh. Okay, they're done. I'm going upstairs now. You addressed your guests for the evening. Wanna come?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to get back till later. Take it easy, kids. Thanks for the help. When you got back to your room, you noticed your backpack from earlier. You figured it'd be the best to unpack the stuff you needed before going into bed. Cove plopped into your desk chair and spun around as it got comfortable. He watched you contentedly as you walked across the room. He didn't need or expect you to try and entertain him constantly. It was just nice to be near each other, even when nothing was going on. You hefted your bag up onto the bed. It sunk into the comforter. With that, you started to sort through your books and paper packets. Not all of it were things you needed anytime soon. A smile of the most important assets began to grow at the side of your backpack until you gone over it all. You actually finished flipping through the contents, but that wasn't all of your work. You instinctively pulled out the opening closer to you and peered inside. A second look through commenced, and then a third, and then you began to open the smaller pockets. You're missing your math assignment. Luna? By this point, Cove could tell something was wrong. You had spent the better part of today completely finishing it, and now it was gone. It hadn't been that noteworthy before, but the bag wasn't really zipped when you first begun to look through. The work could have fallen out somewhere if you had it in the first place. Your stress level shot up. It was gone, and now you're going to have to replace everything you did for it. My math work isn't in my backpack. At your word, Cove jumped out of his seat.
No way!
Oh crap, is there somewhere we can look? The bag was kind of open, so... He winched sympathetically. There's a lot of options for where I might be, most of them bad. You made a sudden bolt for the other side of the room. You started to scour the spot the backpack was originally left in. With nothing in there, you expanded the search to the rest of the space. Cove did the best to stay out of your way while keeping an eye out open for your missing work. It was a frantic and ultimately fruitless effort. Your assignment wasn't here. Let's check downstairs. It might still be in your house someplace. Fine.
How are you?
Why, hello again. Is everything alright? You gave a rambly explanation of the situation. No, it was it. I had it. I did it. But when I was getting it, it wasn't there, and I don't know.
What?
My schoolwork's missing. This was definitely getting to you. You have things that you want to do, but that you need to do, and instead you have to worry about this.
I am so sorry.
Sweet, I'm so sorry. What's missing? It's an assignment for school from the library today. Mom's eyebrows raised with concern at the answer. That's a pickle. I'll call right now. I think they might still be open. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Just leave it to me. Cove, honey, can you tell us if there's anything you noticed? Well, you were with Luna, right? I saw the assignment when Luna had it out of the library. I don't remember them putting it away, but I'm positive there was nothing left on the table when we were done. He spoke resolutely, but now he hadn't considered that something might have been left behind. He had felt the same thing when leaving, though it was not hard to second-guess things now. Mom re-entered the scene a few minutes later. The look on her face was not promising.
Well...
So I got a hold of one of the librarians. They don't have any papers with your name on them. Not that they could see anyways. I'm sorry. Groan in frustration.
Sweetie.
Maybe Derek has it. That would definitely be something if he accidentally took it. Oh, honey, we'll figure this out. Luna, hey, let's go over to my house. I can check my bag. Maybe I took it when we were packing up and didn't notice. Good idea. You got the impression this wasn't about another place to look. You were stressed over the situation here, and he was trying to give you an out. Let's go. Cove nodded and made his way to the door. Your mom stood by you with creased brows. Take care, kids. Good luck. Bye, Moms. Briskly made the trip across the street in less than a minute. You were going through the threshold of Cove's house. Cove had been in a rush earlier today too. His backpack was tossed in the couch without a second thought. No one had moved it since then. You can sit down or anything, I'm gonna look. He lifted up the backpack and unzipped it in a fluid motion. You were left to wait as he rooted around inside it with an unexpected level of seriousness. There's no way you can relax right now. As he leaned closer trying to get a peek into what he was seeing, every second of not knowing made you more tense. Your impatience didn't go unnoticed. You tore through the contents rapidly, until Cove's eyes drifted from the opening of the bag and traced the length of the room's floor. His arms were still tucked away inside, but the search was over. Your heart sank. It was obvious there wasn't much of a chance Cove somehow had it this whole time. Still, you wanted to hope. Finally, Cove lowered his backpack to the floor while slipping his arm out, and he wasn't empty-handed. Cove extended a few papers your way.
All right.
Here. Your eyes flickered down at the assignment, then right back up to your face. That's your copy. In the almost silent room, you could hear the slight clinking of papers as his fingers gripped together, his expression just as firm. No, it's yours. Cove, I can't take that from you. Why not?
I mean...
That's assignments and grades. They're important to you, and you know you're important to me. So... Cove, you're such a sweetheart. You proudly dropped the papers at your feet, refusing to meet your eyes. I think I did pretty good with it. The mark shouldn't be bad. You insisted he shouldn't go through with it. I get it, but we can't do something like that. You were teary-eyed over the gesture. It was too much, and tear droplets began to sting your eyes. Please don't cry, Luna. Missing an assignment is something that doesn't bother me. I mean, you know me long enough to see what does upset me. Cove chuckled bashfully. You imagined he was taking a small stroll down memory lane to all the moments he's been vulnerable with you in the past. Your eyes met, his face full of affection. Then the moment was interrupted by the piercing ring of the Holden's home phone. You wordlessly stared at one another with raised brows. Cove's mouth formed a tiny frown. Kira appeared from the hall and crossed out of the living room, summoned by the noise.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, Cove. Hi, Luna. Didn't know you were here. She strode on past. Your eyes followed her. Cove's mom answered the call, giving a chipper greeting to whoever was on the other end. A few ha-has later, Kira thanked the person and placed the phone down once more. Luna, that was your ma. She said your stuff was in the car.
What?
I'm surprised no one looked in the car, because, that's one of the first places you would have checked. Really? That's what I was told? Now I'll just return to the guest room. You can have your privacy. Cove's face cycled back from shock to shock as Mom made her escape laughing. He shook the interruption off and refocused on you. I got it. You were so relieved. It was back, you had your work, and that's what mattered. They got it. Cove smiled crookedly and shrugged off one shoulder. You should probably head back to your house. Your moms might want to talk to you. Yeah, my parents really care about me. They kept searching even after you left, and because of that it was all worked out. Cove nodded in agreement. Hey, Cove, thanks for being here. He brightened up with sparkling eyes.
Don't worry about it.
Anytime, Luna, don't worry about it. While stepping toward the door together, there was a thought in your head that you knew to be true. You're going to be there for one another, when it came to the big things and with the small things. Aw, that's definitely sweet. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. And may the stars forever guide your path wherever it might lead you into the future. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.